ask you to look away. I love my hands, but it hurts to break. The life I have isn't what I'd seen. The sky's not blue and the field's not green.
How did your journey to Kenya begin?
So literally my journey to Kenya began with the support of family and friends. I was living in Denver, Colorado at the time, fresh off the President Barack Obama re-election campaign, which I served as a youth outreach coordinator on. And I knew that I was ready to take my journey abroad again. This was about 6 years or so after leaving Japan. And I was really ready to expand the mission and vision globally once again, and I was ready to come to Africa specifically. Didn't know where, but I knew that there would be a great opportunity out there for me. I found the Amani Institute, which is a social entrepreneurship and social innovation school. I needed to produce about $6,000 to come. I only had about 4 weeks to do it. I did not have that money just lying around, so I decided to take a leap of faith that really scared me at that time, and that leap of faith was launching a crowdfunding campaign called the Campaign for Global Leadership, where I pitched to family and friends to fund me, to support my dream. That at that point, it was like the next phase in my dream journey, to expand my vision as a global leader, a global citizen, and global inspirational figure. And because people had been following my journey even up to that point, and they had seen the passion, they'd seen the work, they saw how dedicated I was to Jabari Inspires and really being this figure of global inspiration, I raised over $6,000 in less than 4 weeks. So literally my journey to Kenya was launched on the goodwill and the belief in my dreams from family and friends. So this journey has been extremely public. So when I put out notice that my own TV show had finally, the manifestation of it had come, people were just extremely excited. I think I got nearly 1,000 likes on my personal Facebook page for the post about this show. And that was so encouraging because it reminded me of every aspect of this journey, every step, every phase, every competition, every audition, every moment in which I struggled, every moment in which I missed family, every moment in which financially I wasn't doing as well as I may be doing now. But it's just been an amazing journey, and it's just beautiful when you can share in the accomplishment or the achievement of a major goal or a dream with people who have known you all your life. And I was talking to my mom about this, and she's like, no matter where people may know you from, whether it's preschool or middle school or high school or college or beyond, this makes sense. This makes perfect sense, because if they haven't seen you, if they didn't know you, in your travels, or if they've only known you in your travels, or even people who I know here in Kenya, I've been in Kenya for 3 years, and they're like, finally, you got your own show. I'm like, wow, if people who have only known me for 2 to 3 years can say that, I mean, there are literally people who have known me for like 2 decades who can say, finally, you got your own show. So it's so exciting, and I would just encourage people to, one, always believe in that dream and that goal, pursue it relentlessly, and make that relentless pursuit of that dream known. I do not believe in the notion that you should keep your dreams private. No, put those dreams into the universe, because the more you release them, the more the universe will definitely conspire to give you exactly what you want and what you're working for. And aside from that, surrounding yourself with positive people who believe in you. I definitely would not have gotten to this point in my journey at the age of 30, which I'm so grateful to say, wow, I've been able to achieve the goal of having my own show by 30. But even that, I will not lie. I will say that I always envisioned that 30 would be the year that in my mind, years ago, I thought 30 is going to be the year that I launched that crowdfunding campaign to get family and friends to fund me traveling around the world to film this series. But I literally needed that support years before, right, with the Campaign for Global Leadership and coming to Kenya. So it's interesting how I played that card, coming to Kenya 4 years early at the age of actually 3 years early at the age of 27. And literally at 30, when I thought the show would manifest, it has manifested, but in a completely different way than I envisioned it. So every thought that you think, every idea that is conjured, every dream that is envisioned really creates the journey. And it's nothing, the destination is nothing without the journey. And actually, it's really about the journey. and not necessarily any particular destination. Because now that I'm here at this destination, the journey feels like it's just beginning. You know, it's like, wow, you know, what next? And people are already starting to say, I can't wait to see what you do next. I can't wait to see what's next. So it's really exciting and encouraging, and really my ultimate goal is to utilize this platform, not to be on TV just to be on TV, but to utilize this platform to inspire people, whether it's exposing them to Kenya or Africa or other countries, cultures, destinations that they may have far-flung misperceptions about, but also really letting them know that if Jabari Smith can do it, if Jabari Smith, who is from a totally different culture and country than the one that I'm living in now, if I can step far beyond my comfort zone with that dream intact and get people to still believe in that dream in another context, in another society, then anyone can do it. Jabari Smith is not an exception to the rule. Jabari Smith is simply a guy, a man who believed in himself and believed in his vision and attached that vision to a purpose larger than himself. And that purpose is inspiring people to believe in themselves and to catch their dreams.
What crowdfunding platform did you use?
A fateful meeting with one of Tony Robbins' mentors, or mentees, I should say. So a guy that Tony Robbins, internationally acclaimed motivational speaker, life coach, fire walker. I met one of the guys that he has coached and mentored at a random networking event at a cafe in Denver, literally a month before I was due to come to Kenya. And he said, Jabari, do not let money hold you back from seizing this opportunity. Money is nothing but energy, and money will manifest in the area that you put your energy towards. So if you put your energy towards something, that money will come. And that was probably one of the soundest pieces of advice that I received, because that allowed me to take the limits off and launch this crowdfunding campaign. So literally it began with seeking the ideal crowdfunding campaign for my specific project, which was the Campaign for Global Leadership. I chose GoFundMe, and of course there are many crowdfunding platforms. There's Kickstarter, Indiegogo, there's GoFundMe, and I chose GoFundMe because it allowed you to reap, the reward of the money that you raised, even if you didn't hit your target. So my target was $5,000 and I exceeded that target. However, with other platforms, if you don't hit your target by the deadline, then you don't get any of the money. So I didn't want to take that risk. And of course, going into something like this where you're asking people to give you money, which really requires a heavy dose of humble pie. So I put my pride in my back pocket, and that was the best thing that I could have done. Because honestly, if you don't ask, you will never know what you can receive. And if you don't put your dream out there and ask for people to support you, then you will never know how much people believe in you. And my journey has literally been a series of examples and instances in which people within my network, whether they be in my network, whether they've been in my network for 2 years or 20 years, I mean, these are people who have literally seen the growth and development of Jabari Smith into Jabari Inspires.
What did you do specifically to raise the money?
People. People are the basis of my journey. People were my first passion. So by developing a great relationship with this particular producer, he was willing to film this really strong video for me for free, which outlined not only my mission, it gave the backstory on the mission, but also, the trajectory in which I was headed, where my trajectory was headed. So, I outlined what the cost would be for specifically, because I think when you're asking for money for a project, people need to know specifically what they're donating to. So you can't just say, hey, I want to go on a trip to Italy, send me to Italy. No, it doesn't work that way. It has to be aligned with a bigger mission, a bigger purpose, a bigger calling, something that people can buy into. Yes, people buy into you, but more importantly, they buy into your why. Why are you doing this? And I found that my why was extremely important in getting people to support me in donations as small as $5 to donations as large as $200+ to seek this, to seize this opportunity, I would say. So that one video allowed me to raise that money, as well as incessant social media promotion. I mean, literally, it was a month-long campaign in which I was on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, every single day, all day, promoting, asking. And there were times where I felt absolutely broken, because you don't get a donation one day and it's like, oh my God, no one is gonna support me, I'm not gonna meet my goal. But then there are days where you get like 5 or 6 large donations and it's like, wow, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. So I also think that one of the things that has really supported me on my journey is the fact that, one, the people who support me are not people, majority of the people, I would say 80% of my support network, you know, people who I would say are my supporters are people who I have personal relationships with. So, and that has been a result of retaining relationships, developing strong relationships with people as I've met them on this journey of just, you know, travels, and just really developing myself over the years, stepping beyond that comfort zone. So the good thing is that I have personal relationships. These people believe in me, they support me, and I express that gratitude, you know, almost overzealously. You know, I can't not express my gratitude enough for people, because I know that they didn't have to, you know, like my picture. They didn't have to write that comment. They didn't have to share that post. They didn't have to donate that money. You know, because all of this is really encouraging me, because as someone who is an entrepreneur, for any entrepreneur, as someone who's a dream catcher, whatever that dream may be, a dream chaser, you know, wanting to be a dream catcher, it's tough, and I've struggled on the journey. It has not been easy, but it has been very fulfilling. And I would say that taking those blows in pursuit of this dream has paid off tremendous dividends. And I'm prepared to take more blows, because I know that my dream vision is only growing, it's only expanding, so that I know, you know, to whom much is given, much is required. And if you want to, you know, seize the riches, you've got to pay the price. And oftentimes that price can come in a myriad of ways. You know, sometimes you feel lonely because you feel like people don't understand your vision. But then when you have that moment where, boom, that vision, you know, comes to fruition, and people are like, I always believed in you. And it's like, great. You know, that makes me feel really good.
Final question.
You abound with a positive can-do mentality. What can someone do to cultivate an attitude of gratitude?
Obviously, you create your life with your thoughts, with your words, with the people that you surround yourself with. So if you're struggling to live in the space of gratitude, I would suggest that you think about your journey, you think about your life, and you think about how your life, for as challenging as it may be to you, your life is someone else's dream. I always say, you know, the lives that we live, no matter how hard we think we may have it, is the dream life of someone else. So it's so important to be grateful for where you are. I write in a gratitude journal religiously, and it's something that I gleaned from one of my mentors, who actually gave me my first opportunity here in Kenya as the Chief Operations Officer of Africa Community Development Media. Her name is Ann Jogu, and she's a world-renowned human rights activist and lawyer. And literally every morning she told me that she writes a list of 30 plus things that she's grateful for. And I've seen the journal. It's a really thick journal. And when she told me about this, I said, you know what? This is something that I need to commit myself to, because we go through life oftentimes feeling sorry for ourselves or feeling like we're not where we want to be. But if we literally take a moment to write down all the things that we're grateful for, even if it's just within the first 2 hours of our day, then you'd be surprised at how much you have to be grateful for. Running water, the ability to use all of your limbs, air to breathe, electricity, hot food. And these are things that we take for granted sometimes, if not many times. But these things provide sustenance. They provide us with the ability to be who we are and to move the way we move, especially the air that we breathe, especially the ability to utilize our limbs, to take a shower on our own, to put on our clothes on our own. If you can be grateful for the most basic things, which are really not that basic, then you will release more power, more love, and more respect for the journey into your life. And it's all about respecting the process, because it is indeed a process. So I would encourage anyone who's struggling to be as grateful as they know they can be and should be, to write that gratitude list daily. Commit yourself to crafting that attitude of gratitude, because without it, every blow that comes your way will knock you down. And when I say I've been dealt blows, I have. And you know, I want people to know that though what social media gives people a glimpse of is definitely the highlight reel, beyond that highlight reel, beyond the veil, there are moments of immense stress. There are moments of self-doubt, even if you believe in yourself a lot. There are moments of wondering, will this ever manifest for me? but staying grateful for how far you've come and knowing that the best is yet to come. That is my mantra. That is my motto. That is what I stand on. The best is yet to come. That is what keeps me motivated, knowing that no matter where I am now, even with an opportunity to host my own series on TVC, this is far from the end. This is literally just the beginning of this phase, this juncture in my journey, and the best is definitely yet to come. So believe in yourself, believe that your greatest years are ahead of you, your greatest opportunities and achievements and accomplishments are ahead of you. Your best years were not in high school, your best years were not in university, your best years were not in your first few years of marriage or your first few years of raising your kids. Your best years are ahead of you, and that will always keep you in a space of immense gratitude. So I'm accessible across all social media platforms. Jabari Inspires is the handle, JABARI-INSPIRES. There's one I, just shows the interconnectivity of Jabari and Inspires. And yes, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, as well as Snapchat, though I'm trying to become more active, though Instagram stories may have killed that one for me. But I'm accessible across all social media platforms. You can catch my new series, The Jabari Inspires Show, which strives to inspire viewers through exposure to dynamic people, unique cultures, breathtaking destinations, as well as adrenaline-inducing experiences on tvc.co.ke. Wherever you are across the globe, you can live stream that. And if you're in Kenya, you can catch it on TVC, which is available on Bamba TV, Zuku, Star Times, Go TV, as well as Hot Point digital platforms every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. It's a weekly series, and we're just getting started, so stay tuned. The best is yet to come. Yes.
Awesome.
I'm gonna ask you to look away. I love my hands, but it hurts to pray. The life I have isn't what I'd seen. The sky's not blue and the field's not green. I'm gonna ask you to look away. My broken life will never stay.